Hey, so this is day 5, video part 2. I'm going to address just really quickly what I ate. Last night for supper on day 4, I had my little cucumber routine again, which I have grown to really enjoy and crave. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this actually, is because I just want to know what would it be like if we didn't live in the United States and we had an excessive amount of every kind of food you could possibly think of available to us pretty much all of the time. And all of this processed stuff and all of this combination stuff and all the dining out and the fancy recipes. A lot of the stuff that I cook that I think is simple, it's not really that simple. We get to eat really good food if we want to, pretty much all the time. Certainly, we can eat tasty food, even if it's terrible for us. We have a lot of options. I've been eating plates with sliced cucumbers, Celtic sea salt, cayenne pepper, and a sprinkling of parsley and or cilantro on top. Sometimes I squeeze a lemon or a lime on it, and I have grown to love that and crave that. I had that for supper last night. I had to bring it with me to a church function, a social event where they were doing some taco soup. It looked good, whatever it was. I wish I could have been eating it. And they had a bake sale. It was a little bit hard to be in that social setting, but I was very grateful that I had brought food with me that I could eat, and I did enjoy my cucumbers, but I was a little hungry. This morning I had the prune juice routine with the cantaloupe, and yes, my elimination process in my body started working yesterday afternoon, so now I'm not worried about that anymore. That is all good. For lunch today, I added 2 new foods, and one of them was broth. And you might be wondering, why didn't I add broth first? Because that's a recommended food for breaking your fast on day 1. I chose not to do broth mainly because I wasn't intending to make it myself. I did not want to make the broth. It would be store-bought broth from a box. And I have organic, name brand broth in my cupboard, but still, just the fact that it's been through processing, it has multiple ingredients, and it's coming out of a package, I just didn't want that to be the first thing that went into my body. So I've been kind of hemming and hawing and stalling on that. Am I going to do broth or am I not? Well, today I needed to finish up my white rice, and I decided to make it celery day. And I looked it up online, and it said that cooked celery is much easier to digest. I'm trying to, like, I'm writing this line, I'm trying to avoid cooked foods. I want to do the raw foods thing, but I decided to do a little compromise. So what I did was I cut up a lot of celery, quite a bunch, and I cooked it in broth. Then I added parsley and cilantro, and when it was cooked good, then I added my rice, got that up to a high temperature. I just found out that my sister just told me that rice is something you can't really keep around because it grows bacteria very quickly. So now I know when you make rice, don't leave it sitting out, because within 1 to 2 hours of it getting to room temperature, it can grow bacteria, and you're supposed to eat it within 3 or 4 days. And each time you reheat it, you need to reheat it up to a high temperature. So now I know I'm going to be careful with that and not make big batches of rice that will last for several days. So I put the rest of my rice in that broth, and then I had my little cucumber deal on the side. So I had something hot and warm and still something fresh. I squeezed some lemon juice into this broth concoction. It was really delicious. Light, of course, and I have kind of an acquired taste for this because I just keep eating these same ingredients over and over. But for me to have broth and rice, parsley, cilantro, a fresh squeeze of lemon juice, Celtic sea salt, and all that celery was flavorful. It was like, ooh, a whole new world. I'm going to write it down and make a recipe out of it. I'm curious to know if I will think that tastes good someday when I'm eating normal food again, if I would consider that a legit recipe. But I'm going to still write it down and see if I want to eat that on light days in the future. I am hungry. I will admit that every time I eat anything, it does what I was afraid it would do. It opens up my hunger and makes me want to eat more food. Well, I mean, to an extent that would be reasonable because I'm not eating normal food yet. I still haven't done anything with protein or fats, very little on carbohydrates. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I could still add that like I got a long ways to go. My food supply right now is very mild, but I'm kind of doing this in lieu of a juice fast because I've decided I don't really want to do a juice fast, which I have reasons for that too. But anyway, um, I decided though to take my EPA DHA supplement at lunchtime today. I used to take a lot of supplements. I had a very carefully curated routine of supplementation going before I took this fast. And I just dropped it all when I did the water fast. I think you have to do the true fasting. So I'm glad that I did. But here I am now getting 5 days into eating again. So I'm like, I've had 7 days of true fasting and 5 days of semi-fasting. I don't want to be totally nutrient depleted. I already found out from being so cold that I needed to bring back the iron, the B12, and the vitamin D. Well, I still have this dry feeling in my throat. I had a difficult time singing in church yesterday. My throat is kind of dry, and I'm wondering, is this because I haven't put any good, healthy fats or oils in my body for 12 days now? I will be introducing avocados soon, and then I'll be bringing back coconut oil and olive oil, olives. I'm going to be doing this in stages, but I thought, let's just try today. Let's just bring back, I think it's actually just DHA that I have on hand right now. It's from algae in a capsule, and see what that will do to help. I am also feeling a little fatigued, and it's a problem when I'm trying to homeschool and get things done around the house. I can't keep using this fast as an excuse to not be my full self. You know, I gotta keep going. So that's where I'm at. Today is the first day that I'm fighting cravings for sweets. So I don't know, there was something about that lunch. All I did was add broth and celery. But all of a sudden my mind, like a switch has flipped, and I'm now aware that there is still chocolate in the house and people are eating other things. There was a bake sale last night and there are cookies on the counter. Maybe that's the problem. So I'm having to really fight that temptation, but I want to do this for myself. I want to improve my health. As long as I keep having phlegm, that right there is a motivation that tells me I haven't yet done enough to clean out my system. So I'm going to keep going with it. In my last video, I was talking about the wonderful sense of peace and the ease and clarity of thought in decision making that I had during the water fast. And yes, I just want to reiterate that. Normally, I talked about how I have overwhelming anxiety. It's like my mind is spinning in a circle sometimes, where I have thoughts coming from every direction, negative thoughts. I might have a little bit of ADD. I'm not really sure. I think that I think that I probably did have ADD at one time, but I've done enough lifestyle changes that I generally combat it. And I am in therapy. We are working with cognitive distortions and thought patterns and processes. So we're always like, we need to be working on ourselves and recognizing those unhealthy thoughts. But that stuff just went away during the fast. I could think about what I wanted to do then in that moment. I could think about what I would like to do in the future. And things just seemed real clear to me. And they didn't have this weightiness, this guilt, this doubt, this fear, all this negative self-talk that went with them. So I just want to make sure that I express that fully. Okay, that's all for today. We'll see you on day 6. Bye.